This man is building a traditional boat without nails and screws. There's a guy from Indonesia who was so bored out of his mind that he decided to embark on the mother of all DIY projects, building his own traditional boat. Now, this isn't your run-of-the-mill IKEA project. Nope. This is a full-blown, old-school, handcrafted boat. A journey of sweat, wood shavings, and probably a few choice words yelled into the wind. First off, he decided to go with Marsolo wood for the boat's construction. It's like the caviar of boat-building materials around these parts. For the base structure, he's using redwood, and let me tell you, redwood is the kind of wood that laughs in the face of rot and decay. This stuff is so tough, they used it to make railway sleeper cars back in the day. It's also lightweight, which is great, because you don't want your boat to feel like you're dragging an anchor behind you before you've even left shore. So picture this. He's got these extra long wooden nails and he's connecting the redwood planks together. But he's not just hammering these in willy-nilly. No, he's drilling holes at all sorts of weird angles, like he's trying to communicate with wood-loving aliens. Into these holes go round wooden sticks, which he then sharpens to look like oversized toothpicks on steroids. This is serious business. Now, our Indonesian boat builder isn't done yet. He's attaching flexible wood pieces to these makeshift nails. These aren't just any wood pieces, they're thermoflexible. That means he can bend them into shape using heat or fire. It's like yoga for wood if yoga involved being set on fire occasionally. This whole process is something called lignin welding, which sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but is actually a very traditional method of joining wood. Think of it as nature's glue. In ancient times, our ancestors didn't have the luxury of metal screws, nuts, and bolts. They had to make do with what they had, and what they had were round wooden sticks. This method is still used in Japanese carpentry, where they build things that last for centuries without a single nail or screw in sight. So our guy's out there, repeating this lignin welding process over and over again. Each time he adds a new piece of wood, the hull of his boat grows bigger and more imposing, like a wooden sea monster slowly coming to life. This isn't just about slapping pieces together and calling it a day. This is about patience, precision, and a lot of elbow grease. It's like solving a giant three-dimensional puzzle where you have to make each piece before you can fit it into a floating place. But let's not kid ourselves. This is hard work. This is the kind of project that requires a zen-like level of patience. Our guy from Indonesia is out there day after day chipping away at this wooden behemoth driven by nothing but the dream of one day sailing in a boat he built with his own two hands. And let's be real, there's probably a bit of swearing involved too, because when you're dealing with wood, fire, and the occasional splinter, it's not all smooth sailing. So after getting the hull all nice and cozy with flexible wooden panels, he realized that while flexibility is great for yoga and acrobats, a boat needs a bit more oomph in the strength department. Enter the hardwood reinforcements. This guy started cutting up pieces of hardwood like a lumberjack on a caffeine high, strategically adding them to the hull. It's like giving the boat a backbone, ensuring it can handle the pressures of water below and the weight of passengers and a cabin above. Think of it as the boat's core workout. Next up, he sealed the hull with waterproofing sealant. Because let's face it, a boat that takes on water is just a very sad, heavy raft. With the sealant in place, he moved on to painting the inside of the hull. He probably had a few color swatches laid out, deliberating like an artist in front of a blank canvas, before finally settling on something seaworthy and stylish. Now came the fun part, adding the upper body parts of the boat. And he's doing this without a single modern screw. This guy is like the MacGyver of boat building, only instead of using metal screws, nuts and bolts, he's using ancient carpentry techniques. When it came time to install the engine, things got serious. He created some very bold holes in the hull. Bold, as in, I hope I measured that right because there's no going back now. He was preparing a spot for the engine, where the shaft and rotor would poke through and hit the water. And what engine did he choose for his floating marvel? A 30-horsepower diesel-powered engine by Nishikawa, a Japanese company. Manufactured in China, of course, because globalization. But one engine wasn't enough for this beast of a boat. Nope, he went with 2 engines of the same power. This boat was going to be huge and heavy, and he wasn't about to have it putting around like a geriatric turtle. With half the work done, the boat already looked massive. It was time to tackle the other half. This meant creating a deck, a cool pirate cabin, complete with a parrot maybe, and filling any possible holes in the hull that could lead to an impromptu swimming lesson. No one wants to see their hard work sink faster than a stone. After a final coat of paint, the boat looked magnificent. It was like a floating dream, a wooden wonder ready to take on the waves. Before launching, our hero took a moment to pray to the gods for good luck and blessings. I mean, after all this work, a little divine intervention wouldn't hurt, right? The whole village turned out to support this epic launch. Fishermen, villagers, and probably a few stray cats were all there, cheering as the boat hit the water. The environment was calm, the day was beautiful, and our guy was feeling like $1,000,000. His soul was at peace, his heart swelling with pride. With a roar, he fired up the engines. The boat glided across the water and the world felt limitless. Our modern-day pirate was off, sailing into the horizon with dreams of adventure. If you enjoyed this saga of wood, water, and determination, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video, where we might tackle something equally crazy and awesome.